All right, what's good, y'all boys? I'm gonna try to keep this sweet, short, simple. So this is my 1 year review of Dollar General Private Fleet. They were actually my first trucking job that I ever had before I went and moved on to doing hazmat tankers and different divisions and trucking stuff like that. So very grateful for them as a company. Overall, I really love Dollar General. They are an awesome company, and especially if I think they actually do require you to have experience now, but super grateful for them hiring me fresh out of CDL school when they did. And I was able to make this type of money. I'm gonna go ahead and show you in the beginning how much you can make at Dollar General, because I know if you're searching for this type of video, that's like the main thing you want to know is how much money you can make. And these are some of the check stubs. This is some of the money that you can make. It's if I still have the check stubs. If not, then I'll just put my my W-2. I don't know. Yeah, probably put my W-2. But I made 71,000 my first year, and I wasn't even trying that hard. Like, I was home on my resets for over 48 hours for sure every week. And if I wanted to, I could go in for an extra day and make my income more. So if I really would have tried, honestly, I believe first year I could have made at least $80,000 being a regional driver for Dollar General. And um first of all, their starting pay is way above average for people with no experience. It was 55 cents in my area when I first started. And most people start in the 40-cent range. And that was just the mileage. And there's more of a component pay structure when it comes to Dollar General, because they pay you by the mile and they also pay you per stop. And they also have these things called sweeps. And that's when you pick up the rotainers that you're delivering to the store. You pick them up and bring them back to your distribution center. So those are $20 every time you do that too. So you get $55 for every store that you stop at. Plus you get your regular mileage pay, and on top of that you get your sweep pay, right? So all of that combined, you're gonna bring in consistent money. And the best part about Dollar General working for them is that there's always a load for you to do. You don't have to worry about not having a load. You will make consistent money. And I love the fact that Dollar General is its own private fleet, because that means that they fill up their own trailers. I don't have to go deal with shippers. I don't have to deal with third party receivers. No, I'm going from Dollar General distribution center to Dollar General store. It's direct freight. So that's like the best thing that you can do when it comes to having that's like the best thing that you can have when it comes to doing trucking, especially for your first year. So yeah, um I guess I'll dive into like my personal experience, right? So my personal experience after being with them for a year is, first of all, the culture is really laid back, really relaxed, really chill. Really a good culture to in a good work environment overall, because um they understand what you're looking for. Honestly, they understand that you're here to make money, and if you're willing to work, they're willing to give you work. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fair trade at all times. You know what I'm saying? And there's nobody breathing down your neck. Dispatchers aren't calling you constantly trying to figure out what's going on. Honestly, the only time you're gonna speak with your dispatchers if you choose to go speak to them, or if you're going to pick up your paperwork for a load. That's the only time. They are not hassling you. Or if you have a drug test, they might contact you and say, hey, we need you to go do this little random drug test or whatever. And then you go do that. But other than that, man, the dispatchers, the supervisors, they are all very good people, very chill. I had my orientation in San Antonio, Texas. So orientation was 5 days, and we got $200 every single day. And that's even that training orientation pay is above the industry standard, because most companies, if you have no experience, they're going to pay you $150 a day. $150 a day just to train. So Dollar General already gives you $1,000 just for the first week of orientation. My personal class, we finished all of the orientation paperwork and all of the videos and all of that. We finished that in 4 days, but they still paid us for 5 days, and they still gave us our own private hotel rooms each for up to 5 days, right? They also provided a rental car for the travel and all of that to orientation. So all of that was a really great experience. They also fed us twice a day during while we were at orientation. They gave us lunch. They gave us lunch, and then they gave us I guess you could consider it dinner. But it was way earlier in the day, so I don't know. I guess you could say that. And then the hotel has breakfast, of course. So, you know, it was great. It was a great experience overall. And then they also do reimburse you for the gas that you put into the rental car. As long as you save your receipt, they will reimburse you for the gas that you put into your rental car. So that's pretty awesome. So moving on into the work itself. Now, this is where everything kind of takes a turn a little bit, because dealing with the trailers is doable, and especially if you have a hardworking mindset, it's definitely doable, but it can get tedious. For example, when you have a rotator, which is basically, imagine a shopping cart that's 6 feet tall, right? And it's vertical instead of landscape. So you have that, right? And then you fill it up with cases and cases and cases of water, or a bunch of cases of dog food. That is heavy. Like water, dog food, those two things are super heavy. So when you're trying to push it into a store, especially if it tips over and it's hot outside, that's like the worst part about the job. But that doesn't happen often. As long as you get your technique down, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna have days where you're tired because you're doing store after store, and you know what I'm saying, you miss a step and boom, and the whole thing tips over, and then you gotta pick it up, and you still gotta deliver the rest of the freight. So it gets annoying. Yeah, I get that. That happens sometimes. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Yeah, it happens sometimes. And when that happens, man, the best thing you can do is just hurry up and pick it up quick. Like, don't sit there and take a break. No, hurry up, pick it up, and get it done. Because if you take a break, I'm telling you, it's gonna make that day so much longer, so much worse than it already has been for you, right? But aside from that, dealing with store managers can sometimes be tedious, depending on if they have attitude. But you just don't let it get to you. Even dealing with customers in certain neighborhoods, you know, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, the neighborhoods, the places they send you might not be the best neighborhoods. That sometimes it can get a little ratchet, especially when they get to sending you down in the South, right? I remember they sent me to New Orleans one time. I hated that experience. I did not like being in New Orleans. Super tight roads. The people get ghetto as freak. I'm gonna be honest with you. The people ghetto down there. The stores ghetto. Yeah. You don't want to go to New Orleans. But if I would say this, Dollar General is a great, fantastic company to get a year experience, 2 years experience even, and then maybe if you want to go do something else, you can go do that. You know what I'm saying? You can go get your endorsement, see what you like. Or maybe try to go local or something like that. But honestly, if you're the type of person who likes that work where you're more hands-on and you're active, if you like that type of work because it keeps you in shape and all of that, then you'll probably like it long term even, maybe. I know some people who've been there for years, and you know what I'm saying, they're satisfied. They also do more than just regional work. They do have local work for Dollar General drivers as well. So you don't have to necessarily leave the company to go local. You know what I'm saying? It's just all personal preference at the end of the day. So if I had to give it a review, I would give it a 5-star review. Honestly, I could say Dollar General, if they tell you something, it's legit. They're not gonna shortcut you. They're not gonna lie to you to try to get you in a truck. Also, the maintenance on their trucks is amazing, right? In my experience, I didn't even have an inward facing camera, so that was pretty cool. The fact that I have the comfortability of knowing that nobody's just watching me. Um, Also, every 10,000 miles and every 30,000 miles, they do what's called a 10K checkup and a 30K checkup, where you literally just bring your truck into the shop and you just sit there and they pay you just for sitting there and getting your truck worked on. And that's honestly awesome, because at the end of the day, it's like that just shows that they care about the equipment that you have to drive. They're trying to make sure that you're safe on the road. And the mechanics that they have, they will hunt you down for that inspection. They will do it. Like, they want to service your truck. So that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Also, they do have safety bonuses. I think it's like $200 if I'm not mistaken. Every quarter you get like 200 or 150. I kind of forgot. It's been a while, but benefits, you get amazing benefits with Dollar General. Now, let me tell you something about their benefits, and this is something that they explained to me at orientation that was kind of mind blowing. So, Billy Inman did my orientation in San Antonio, and I know you guys probably don't know who that is, but if you do, he was giving me a story about, or giving our whole class a story about how one time a family member died, and they actually transported him and his whole family to the state, which was states away. They paid for his flight, the hotel, and all of that, so that they could go and attend the funeral of a family member. And I thought that was dope. And you get full benefits from day one. Like, you don't have to wait any waiting period. You get 401k, you get life insurance, you get everything from day one off rip at Dollar General. So that's another reason why Dollar General is amazing, right? And honestly, if you see any bad reviews about it, it's really most likely just it's really just people who honestly probably just don't like working hard. And I can fully understand that, because dealing with the distribution center, sometimes the people who load the trucks, they hate their jobs and they don't want to load it properly. So you get a poorly loaded trailer and you got to deal with it in a blistering hot work environment when you're trying to deliver to the store. Yeah, that sucks. And so if you do that time after time again, eventually, man, it gets tough. Trust me, it does get it gets tough, bro. But it's manageable. Like I said, 71,000 my first year, and I wasn't really even trying that hard to make that money. I was just working my regular schedule. So yeah, if you're thinking about going to Dollar General, I can honestly say I recommend it. So yeah, if you like this video, it's free to give a like, it's free to subscribe, and since I gave you all the sauce and the information, show me a little bit of love. So until next time, I ain't really got nothing else to say. So we out, we gone.